Hello and welcome to Movement for Mental Health, Part 2 with yours truly, Natalie Marnica. So I am a certified yoga therapist and teacher, and I've been teaching yoga for over the past 10 years or so. And this is a little mini snippet of a larger workshop I give for Movement for Mental Health. And it has to do with a bottom-up approach to reducing stress and cultivating good mental health. So a bottom-up approach is when we're working from the body into the mind. So we're using physical movements and breathing and attention to create structural and mental changes in our brains and in our perception of the world around us. So in learning to implement these different yoga principles and practices, we can find relief from suffering, prevent some disease, and then strengthen our connection to our minds and our bodies. So I want to go into a little bit of how I began. For those that were not on the first little webinar, I came into yoga after chronic pain. So I was in a car accident that left me in physical pain. I had soft tissue damage, nothing broken, but I was in pain for several years and nobody knew how to help me. I went to every sort of specialist you can think of. And over the past decade, I've healed my body fully of chronic pain. I've alleviated a lot of the mental health issues I had, which were major depressive disorder and body dysmorphic disorder. And it also carried me through caregiving for my mom who has Huntington's disease and living in an HD family. So Huntington's disease, for those of you that are unfamiliar with it, is very serious neurological disorder that's like having schizophrenia, ALS, and dementia in one disease. It has been in my family for generations. I lived at risk for this disease, and yoga and meditation and exercise and movement for me was the kind of the ground under my feet as I was coping with all those changes and I was healing my body and I was going through things. So the things that I'm going to share with you in this presentation are things that I did to get to where I am. So I'm really excited to be here and share this with you. There's a lot of similarities between HD and ataxia. Some that is like, if it's certain forms of ataxia, it's not curable. Really, it's hard to treat. Same thing with Huntington's disease. So we really have to focus on more lifestyle interventions and things that we can do to help reduce suffering and reduce the burden of chronic stress, but also improve the quality of life wherever that's possible. So stress, the quick overview, is a state of disharmony, a threat, real or perceived. That's a big deal. A perceived threat will still influence the body negatively. Okay. Absence of something for survival, threatened loss of something. In a medical or biological context, stress is a physical, mental, or emotional factor that causes bodily and or mental tension. Because a lot of time where there's bodily tension, there's mental tension. And a lot of times where there's mental tension, there's bodily tension. We don't separate the mind from the body in this viewpoint. Stresses can be external or internal. If you've lived chronically stressed for a long period of time, you're at risk for a plethora of things happening, including brain shrinking. You're at a stage for depression, Alzheimer's disease, memory loss, autoimmune issues. There's so many issues that chronic stress, breathing, asthma, digestive issues, fertility issues, like chronic stress is something that we want to avoid. A really good YouTube video you can watch it's called The Brain on Stress. It's a TED Talk. It's like a 4-minute video and it's very much worth your time. So in most cases, we're looking at now the mind's role in our suffering. So all of us have felt sadness or depressed at some point in our life, some of us more than others, I being one of those people. Our minds can act as a cruel master or an obedient slave, depending on how we train it. The average person has like between 12 to 50,000 thoughts in a day. Sometimes that's even more. Most of those thoughts are not overly productive. They tend to dwell in the past or future projections. And we need to find a way to focus our mind and focus our attention in a way that serves our overall health and health quality. So enter in yoga, the thing that saved my life in more than one way. So what is it? What are we doing here? Yoga is recognized as a form of mind-body medicine. It integrates a person's physical, mental, and emotional aspects to improve their overall health. It's particularly helpful for stress-related illnesses. It's over 5,000 years old, and it's regarded by the National Institute of Health as a form of complementary and alternative medicine. The biggest gift that yoga gives us, even from the most superficial way to practice, which is just like breathing and moving together, is that it produces a physiological state opposite of that of the fight and flight. So it's literally a way to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system and to get your body into healing mode on a regular basis. One of the definitions we get from yoga from one of the most foremost texts, which is called the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, is that yoga is the ability to focus the mind in one direction without distraction over an extended period of time. So if we're looking at a way to focus our mind, our body, and our breath, then we're looking at a yogic practice, something that is going to incorporate that. Now, yoga comes in many different forms. There's so many different lineages, practices, things that are called yoga today. So I want to do a little breakdown of what that is and what we're talking about in this context. So yoga, general practices, group classes that you might see, those are intended for regular maintenance of health and fitness. Yoga therapy, so as me, as yoga therapist, is individualized or small group practices that are adapted and tailored for the person's practicing. So this is different. This is a way to get to the heart of the matter and work with individuals that may have neurological diseases, they may have injuries or ailments or a combination of things that a traditional yoga or a group yoga class is not going to address. Okay, so this is what we're talking about here. Our approach is dealing with neurological decline and then the problems of that problem: fear, worry, chronic stress, loss of mobility, loss of life status and work, role changes, grief. That includes anticipatory grief of the things that are going to happen in the future. These issues can sometimes cause more suffering than the disease itself. Okay, so the focus here is neuroprotection and the reduction of that strength and anxiety. So our primary goals, if I was your yoga therapist, would be to prevent or reverse the physiological effects of stress. So the chronic stress. So if you are already in burnout, we want to reverse the damage as much as we can that has been done and let your body heal the way that it's designed to. We want to prevent it if you're not there yet. So let's say you're like right in the midsection or you're not approaching that burnout level. We want to make sure you don't get there. The second thing we want to do is to maintain your current health and mobility. I cannot stress this enough. It is easier to maintain what you already have from a neurological standpoint than it is to regain it once it's lost. The third thing is that we want to prevent future problems wherever that's possible. Okay, so that would be the goal of yoga therapy for any neurological disease. Think of exercise, yoga, and meditation as the counterbalance to all the other stuff. If you can't change your genes, so in the case of Huntington's disease, we can't change the genes. They're trying. It's not successful yet. The environment, the toxins, the day-to-day stress, then you need help. You need to help the body reverse these negative impacts. As we age, we're going to have negative impacts. None of us are spared, whether we have neurological disease yet or not, from age-related decline and injury. We need to reverse this on a regular basis so that we're countering and we're building resiliency. You know, it's my opinion and that of several neurological doctors that 50% of treatments for people with neurological disorders should include lifestyle and exercise protocols. They need to. Okay, so let's look at some of the tools that yoga offers us. We have philosophy, physical postures, that's what you see most of, mindful breathing and chanting, pranayama, meditation, mindfulness, diet, and lifestyle. For this, we're going to focus on the movements, breathing, and chanting and exercise. So yoga postures, you'll see them. Why do we do it? We keep our body functioning optimally, arms moving, legs moving, hips, ability to get up and down from the floor. It's a positive stressor. So it's one of the positive things you can do to adapt to greater amounts of stress. It helps us to calm and focus our minds. We have breathing and chanting. So why would we take deep breaths and work on chanting and making sound? Well, because we can normalize our adrenaline levels. We can help achieve greater weight loss if that's one of our goals. We can block the release of stress hormones. We can help increase our immune function just by making sound as we do those movements or on their own. We can also lower our heart rate and our blood pressure. So these are really cool things that are at your access anytime. How does it work? So we have this really, really, really important nerve in our body called the vagus nerve, as you can see in that little diagram. It is embedded deep in our brainstem, has little fibers inside the ear, and also travels all the way down and has fibers that enclose all of our organs and signals our body to either go into this sympathetic fight and flight response, or we can trigger it and ask it to let our bodies relax and rest and digest. So when we choose to breathe consciously, things that activate the space around our diaphragm, especially if we're chanting and we're breathing and we're moving, we can start to switch ourselves from this chronic stress, fight and flight, mind everywhere, past and future, to the present moment, reduce that level of stress in as little as 6 to 12 breaths, mind you, and also help the body in future healing. Once we get into that rest and digest mode, the body will help itself. Okay, meditation. So it can be done sitting, standing, walking, lying down, moving. You can meditate and move together at the same time. It's the process of becoming familiar with. You're starting to understand and put a little spotlight on what's happening in your mind and your body at any given time you choose to practice. It's been practiced for thousands of years. It has immense benefits for our brains. If you can look at this little diagram, a normal person's brain and the brain after meditation, you can see that the hemispheres of the brain are becoming more synchronized the longer someone meditates. We're looking at the brain on yoga. So practicing yoga and meditation has been shown to be very neuroprotective and promote growth in brain regions associated with positive mood states, this prefrontal cortex. It's also critical for anybody who does have a mental health issue, has had trauma, or suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, because it helps to dampen the stress response in your hippocampus and your amygdala. This is your fear center of the brain. So you literally can start to change your brain by implementing these breath, movement, and body practices in real time. It's quite incredible. Why is this important? Because most individuals who suffer from depression, trauma, or chronic stress and illness have reduced gray matter in their brains in specific areas. And if we know that we can positively protect or impact or even grow those regions back, we're going to need those tools. So your brain on yoga, like I said, there's so many benefits to practicing this type of yoga and yoga therapy. We're looking at exercise and the brain. So this is really important as well. So yoga alone is not going to be the end all and be all of your care. You need to get your heart rate up. You need to get sweaty. You need to increase your heart rate. Okay. So we need to create this chemical that's super important for our brains called BDNF. It's called brain derived neurotrophic factor. It helps signal and communicate between synapses and connections in your brain, which also then helps those synapses connect those information to your body. We want to keep your brain as healthy as it can be. Remember, maintenance. So lifting weights, yoga, high intensity or interval training, it impacts different areas of your brain. So use them as tools to protect what you got. An example of an all-encompassing practice, so something that I took up a few years ago so that I can help people with Huntington's disease, was called Clubbell Yoga. Clubbell Yoga is strength training that met physical practices and meditation of like asana. So Clubble Yoga, you can Google it, you can put it in YouTube. The founder, her name is Summer Huntington. I trained with her a few years back. She is one of the most incredible humans and strength training and just movement trainers in the world. And anyways, this system that she developed based on a larger system called TACFit incorporates yoga, strength training, HIIT training, and meditation in one. So all those areas of your brain are hit with this practice. So search it. I also take people through personal practices with this as well. So ways you can optimize your health. So again, this is your bottom-up approach to keeping yourself well and optimized. Walking, yoga, mindfulness, boxing, dancing, weight training, meditation, proper sleep, nutrition, meaningful relationships, cultivating joy. These are all ways that you can influence your biology, whether you have a neurological disease or not. Okay. And especially if you have a neurological disease or you're helping people with neurological diseases, this is what's needed. You're trying to maintain what you already have, reduce the impact of chronic stress, and prevent future decline. I'm always going to go back to that. So programs that I offer, so we're going to get into a practice in a few minutes. We're going to do a chair yoga and mobility class. It's going to be a sit and stand class. I'm really excited for you to test that out and see how it lands. I also have pre-recorded and materials that you can search online or you can purchase. I offer private yoga therapy training and club training. And then for clinicians, for people that are working or caregivers that are working with people with neurological decline or other ailments, I have chair yoga and mobility teacher training that's offered twice a year. Our next session is happening in April at the beginning of the month. And that's where you can learn these practices and learn how to incorporate them and teach them to other people. So you can find me here. If you have questions, you have feedback, please don't hesitate to reach out. My contact is info@smyoga.ca. smyoga.ca is the website, and you can find me under SM Yogini on Instagram and Sacred Mountain Yoga on Facebook. I'm really excited to get in touch with anybody who wants to get in touch with me. Feel free to. And then without further ado, let's practice. Clear out the space that's around you, have room to move your arms and your legs, and let's see if we can improve our mental and physical health in this next 15 minutes. Thank you so much for watching, and it's been my pleasure to be here with you. Enjoy. Welcome to another edition of Chair Yoga and Mobility. For today's class, we're going to focus on some seated and standing movements to help you increase the mobility in your body, increase your mental health and your focus, and also to improve mood. So as always, take your time breathing and moving. Stay as much as you can in your pain-free range of motion and honor your limitations. So it doesn't matter whether your arm can mirror what I'm doing. Find as much of the range that's available to you without strain. And that strain can be physical strain causing pain. That strain can be a feeling of tension or shortness of breath. What I want you to focus on is how your body can breathe and move safely. So let's begin sitting. Have your feet separated a little bit wider than your hips. Take your back a little bit away from the chair. And then imagine that this top part of your head was stretching up towards the ceiling. Take a moment to relax the arms. You can roll the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Good. And then allow yourself to let the eyes close. Perfect. And now start to feel how your breath is coming in and how your breath is moving out of your body. Very good. Pay attention to the breath as it enters and as it exits. And notice the sensations you feel in your body as you're here. You might notice places that are stiff, maybe some places that are sore. If you happen to find some of those areas of discomfort, take your breath in and out of them. Inhaling into the discomfort or the tension. And then as you exhale, let it relax and let it release. Very good. Now, if it's available to you, start to draw the lower part of your belly towards your spine as you exhale. Let your inhale happen freely. And then exhale, feel that light contraction, help the air come out slow and steady. Inhale. And then exhale, slow and steady. One more like that. Inhale. And exhale, slow and steady. Wonderful. Now allow your eyes to open up. Push your feet against the ground like you are pressing the floor away. And then inhale, circle and reach your arms up. Reach them as high as they'll go without pain or strain. As you exhale, relax the legs, float the hands into the center of your chest. Good. Press the legs down. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up. That's it. Hold for a moment. And then exhale, take the hands down and bring them into the center of your chest. Very good. Again, press the feet down. Inhale, reach and stretch up. Good. And then as you exhale, take the hands into the center of your chest. Very good. Now hold the hands into center. I'm going to pivot slightly so you can see this next motion a little bit better. As you inhale, expand the arms back. Bring your chest forward. Very good. Maximize the breath in. And then as you exhale, round your back muscles, press your palms together and curl your back. So you seal up the hands and then pull forward. Shoulder blades are getting drawn apart. Inhale, bring the heart forward. Reach and stretch your arms back. And then exhale, round your back. Press the palms together, shoot and round. So you're creating a cave with the spine. Try that 3 more times. On the inhale, shift forward. So you're taking a smooth and deep breath. Hold it after you inhale. And then exhale, round your back. Press the palms together, curl your spine. Good. Again, inhale, forward. Lead with your chest, stretch and reach your arms back. Relax your neck and head. And then exhale, round the back muscles. Push the hands together, curl and round it. Very good. Again, inhale forward. Arch. Exhale, round. And press into the palms. Good. Inhale forward. And arch, hold the breath. Good. And then exhale, round and curl. Draw that part of your belly to your spine. Now inhale, reach again up to the ceiling. Push the feet into the floor. See how tall you can make your body. And then exhale, take the hands down, bring them in. That's it. Onto the legs and let your body settle forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, round it out. Good. Inhale, open up the chest. And then exhale, take the palms together. Good. If it's in your range of motion, scoop up underneath one leg. As you inhale, kick your leg out. On the exhale, you can either A, rest it to the floor, or B, pull it up towards your body. Good. Inhale, try 2 more. Kick. Exhale, either rest or lift it up. Good. Inhale, kick. Good. Exhale to rest or elevate. Good. Inhale, kick. Good. Exhale to rest or to lift it. Good. Place that foot down. Inhale, push the feet into the floor, reach and stretch up. Very good. And then on the exhale, take the hands down. Scoop up underneath the opposite side leg or rest on top to modify. As you inhale, kick the leg out. On the exhale, you can bring it to rest or you can try lifting it. Inhale, extend it out. Good. On the exhale, you can rest or try and lift it. Good. Inhale out and kick. Good. Exhale to rest or to lift. Place that foot down. Push the feet against the ground. So you want to press the floor away from you. Inhale, reach. Use your whole body if it's available to you. Exhale, come forward, hands down towards your legs. Shift the body forward in space. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cave and round the back. Good. Inhale, bring the heart forward. Open up the arms nice and wide. Good. And then on the exhale, bring the hands back to your center. Very good. Inhale here. Exhale here. Okay, now for a few moments of standing. So shift the weight forward, come up off your seat, make your way gently towards your chair. So I'm going to pivot so you can see this a little bit clearer. If you have more issues with balance, you can have yourself with behind your chair and against the wall. Okay, so you can use the wall for some support. Okay, good, wonderful. Now from this position, keep your right foot forward. Go ahead and step your left leg back in space and plant your heel. So now we're looking to have our two hip bones facing to the front, and you have enough width that you feel stable in your legs. So if you hold yourself here and you feel wobbly, go a little wider with your front foot. And then bend your front knee and just see if that's enough space to keep your back heel down. And if you have more range, go ahead and find that. Good. Keep your right hand onto the seat, right leg forward. As you inhale, bend the right knee, reach and stretch your left arm up. Can you stretch the whole front of the body? Hold it there. Good. And then on the exhale, straighten the leg, bring it back down. Good. Inhale, bend and reach. Good. Arch the back if it's comfortable for you. On the exhale, straighten and lower the leg. That's it. Maximize your breath in. Inhale up. Good. And then exhale down. Okay, we're going to hold the last one here. Inhale up, bend the knee, press the back heel down, root your feet, stretch up through the arm. Good. Now on the exhale, slide your elbow towards the side of your body. Inhale, reach it. Exhale, slide it down, pull it down the back. One more time. Inhale, keep the leg stable, reach your arm up. Good. And then exhale, slide it down, hold. Inhale and exhale. That's it. Step the back foot forward, march it off on the spot. Good. Sweep your right leg back now. Your left leg is forward. Play around with your spacing so that you're as wide as you need to be to feel stable. And your back heel can connect to the floor. So that might be here, that might be here. You might be in a longer lunge depending on your mobility. Okay, and then rest the left hand towards the seat. Right arm is free. Good. When you're ready, bend your front knee, keep the back heel down. Inhale, reach, press the feet against the ground, stretch and reach up through the arm. Good. And then as you exhale, relax it. Inhale, bend and stretch. And then exhale, relax it. Good. Inhale, bend and stretch. Good. And then exhale, relax it. One more, we hold it. Inhale, bend and stretch. Exhale, slide shoulder down the back. Inhale, up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, up. Exhale, back and down. That's it. Now hold it there. Inhale. And as you exhale, land the foot forward, step it in, march it off. Okay, that's it. Last one here. You're going to take a wide step. Nice and wide with your feet. That's it. So your pelvis is open. I'm going to pivot so you can see this a bit clearer in the screen. Good. Okay, so legs as comfortably wide as your body allows. One hand can rest to the seat. Take one arm, hang it. Drop your shoulder. As you inhale, reach and stretch this arm back. Shoulder heavy, elbow heavy, turn. Can you look towards your thumb and pause? Good. And then exhale, come across. Relax the hand down. Good. Again, inhale, big breath, reach back. Hold it there with full lungs. Exhale, come back. Relax it down towards the seat. Good. Inhale, open. And exhale, Bring it down. Switch sides. Inhale, heavy elbow, heavy shoulder. Inhale. Turn and look. Exhale, relax and bring it down. Good. Inhale, open. Turn and look. Exhale, bring it back. One more time. Inhale, open. Good. And then exhale, bring it back. Perfect. Heel toe your legs inwards. March it off on the spot. Good. And then come around safely back to your seat. Give the legs a little stomp off. Adjust so that you feel more comfortable. And then inhale, reach and stretch up through the arms. Good, big stretch up. And then exhale, take the hands down, lean the body forward. Let your back muscles stretch out. Good. Inhale, lift halfway. And then exhale, lean in. Good. Again, inhale. And exhale, lean in. If you're comfortable, hands can come down. You can shake out the neck and head. Very good. And then slowly inhale, take the body weight up. Move it around a little bit here, and then exhale, let the spine settle back into the seat. Very good. That's it. Breathe in. That's it. As slow as you can, breathe it out. Now let the arms, the neck, and head settle. Inhale. And then as slow as you can, draw the belly in, let your breath out. That's it. 4 more like that. Inhale. And then slow as you can, breathe out. Draw the belly in. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Relax your arms, relax your legs, your neck, and your head. Good. One more big breath. And exhale, let it go. That's it. And then let your natural breath just slowly come back. And feel the energy you've created in your body. Relax the space around your eyes, the space around your jaw. Relax the arms and the legs. And then take the palms together so they meet. Keep your eyes relaxed. That's it. And start to cultivate a moment of gratitude. Can you thank your body for everything it was able to do today? Your heart's pumping, your breath is moving. Have gratitude for all the limbs and all the systems that are continuing to move, and they're continuing to give you life. Wonderful. And then rub the palms together. Build some heat and cover over your eyes. Block some of the light from the screen and the room that you're in. And then carefully let the eyes open inside the palms and float the hands down into the center of your chest. Inhale here. And as you exhale, bow to your own effort. Thank yourselves for being here. Thank you so much for having me here. Have a wonderful rest of your